rehearsing what I'm going to say. I'll see if I can decipher my notes. Topic session, all about food. The chair explained it's all going to be about food. I'll tell you what you're going to talk about, and you just get on with it. He explained initially what he was about, and in between you had to do all the linking, so the linking was pretty good. And the story at the end about the cheesecake was a nice, friendly ending to the session. And he managed to get everybody to stand up and say something, which gave everybody an opportunity. So we start off with he started off doing his own topic. Initially I thought, why is he doing it? It's supposed to be impromptu speaking. He knows what he's going to talk about. It's not impromptu. I think the point of doing it was to give everybody else an example of how to do it, what was needed. And the Mexican story about the tacos and the chimichangas and finger food and all the stuff was quite interesting. Lots of gestures, voice, eye contact, but it doesn't really matter because he was only the chair, not the person doing it. So we'd go on to the next person who was talking about food, and instead of saying what wonderful food she enjoyed, she talked about all the downsides, horrible stuff where you get stomach problems and indigestion. It's not always the greatest thing, she says. Fry-ups after a hangover. Again, you're trying to cheer yourself up. Stomach upsets, indigestion stories, all this stuff. There's some good projection of voice there. And there was a little anecdote about hospital food. Good word pictures. You can imagine her sitting in the hospital, being asked what food she wanted, and she couldn't really be slightest bit interested. And then she had to listen to everybody else. You can imagine that. I'm very sorry I had to go through all that. It was a great word picture. You could just picture it. And the ending was decide what's best. Don't just shovel it all down. Decide what is the best food. Then we went on to the next one, which was who has eaten vegetarian food? Well, we've all eaten vegetarian food. Sometimes we have it with meat and fish. But the speaker then explained the balance about proteins and carbs and vitamins, and she was doing all this proteins, carbs, vitamins, and really animated it was, using her arms and her face and the eye contact to emphasize her point. Very good eye contact. Explained all the different types of foods, nuts, corn, and she said there's all manner of food with her arms stretched out to show how much there was. Word pictures, overcooked food, which was a bit like mush and concrete, food all slapped together. And it ended with ensure that you have a well-balanced food, and that will make everybody happy. So it ended on a lovely note, and it gathered everyone's attention. Next one was how do you catch your meal? This is a really difficult one.
Yeah.
People like me who don't go hunting or fishing, I was thinking you could throw it to him and he could catch it or something. Or maybe vegetables. Does that count as catching your own food if you throw strawberries and tomatoes? No, so it was a very difficult one. And then the speaker proceeded with it. I don't hunt or fish, but I see the benefits of it, and I obviously wasn't really bothered about hunting and fishing, but he was prepared to consider it. Go to Tesco, maybe I should go to local grown things. You could see his mind working there. And he put all that gesture into how his thought process was musing over locally caught food might actually be better than one in the supermarket. And then he concluded with, let others catch it, but I'll eat it, but let other people catch it, and maybe I'll eat the food they've caught. So one step down from being fresh. Made everybody think, this is actually good. And he actually had an epiphany. I mean, that was great. He had an epiphany. The look on his face when he said that was priceless. Really good. So it was a humorous one. I don't think it was intended to be, but it was a very humorous speech. The next one was all about food. Aren't we looking for variety of food? This is a good one because the speaker started off, aren't we lucky to have such a variety of food? We'd already heard about all different types of food, which shows we do it from Mexican onwards, so we do have variety. And you can get more variety by looking at books online, restaurants, ideas from all over the place, takeaways and delivery. She explained all the different types of food that's available to us. Wonderful, you were spoiled for choice. Click of a button, she said. On your computer, click of a button. Choose anything. Good eye contact too. You stared at everybody and made sure everybody was listening. And held the audience's attention. So, and then there was a lapse into French food, which she seems to know all about French food. So she was explaining how we're lucky to be able to have all this variety of French food and all other food when many people in the world don't. So don't knock it all. So I thought it was a good ending, saying how lucky we are, we're fortunate to have all this variety. And then how do you top that? Well, we got on to the secret recipe. Bread making machine, okay. Well, tastes like cake, you're all enthusiastic about it. You looked enthusiastic. Bread making machine, oh, it's a macho thing, machine where it makes bread. You soon get fed up with it, Tastes like cake, and you went, facial expressions about not liking it and everything. Soon gave up on it. Started making pizza, had a comical way of explaining how he made the pizza. Got the rolling pin, you can imagine the rolling pin there. And it doesn't rise, it's all flat. So you can see the look of despair on his face. Frustration. Good ending. When he said all the food he made himself was pretty good. He was convinced of it, so it must have been good. Then finally we went on to disasters, cooking disasters. You either chuck them in the bin or into the recycle bin, which is more eco-friendly. So it's not all wasted. She was trying to persuade herself, if I put it in that recycle bin, it's not wasted, it's morally established. Because it makes compost of it all. And then she explained how compost actually does work if you do it properly. And she made her own compost in her bin. And she was so excited about it, and you could see the little joy on her face, an achievement that she'd actually, at years of age, had achieved, had made her own compost. It's not just make